My dear friends, today I want to speak to the part of you that has been quiet for too long, the part that knows it is capable, worthy, and powerful. There are invisible chains that bind us, habits that quietly steal our joy, and thoughts that whisper we are not enough. But hear me now. You have the strength to break free. You have the courage to rise. And there are four things, four invisible weights that you must stop doing immediately if you wish to step fully into your light. Listen closely, for this is not just advice, it is a call to your soul. There is a truth that too many of us forget, a power that is quietly waiting in the shape of our own voice. The words we speak, the sentences we whisper to ourselves in the dead of night, and the promises we mutter under our breath, they all build the world we walk in. If you speak fear, doubt, and defeat, the world around you will answer in kind. But if you choose words of courage, hope, and love, the universe itself will bend to listen. Do not underestimate the power you hold in your tongue. Every time you tell yourself you cannot, you set a limit on what might have been. Every time you murmur that you are too small, too weak, too unworthy, you sow the seeds of chains around your own spirit. Speak as though you are free, because freedom begins in your voice. Notice how quietly we accept defeat, how easily we allow ourselves to be convinced that the storm is bigger than our strength. But words are not just sounds, they are the architects of possibility. They shape your day, your choices, your courage, and even your destiny. You have the power to turn "I am not ready" into "I am prepared," to turn "this is too hard" into "I will rise through this." The magic is in the repetition, the insistence, the refusal to give your soul permission to shrink. Speak to yourself with the tenderness you would offer to a child, the encouragement you would give a friend, and the belief you would give a lover. Let your words be your allies, not your captors. And yet, we often allow the voices of others to invade our inner sanctuary. We repeat the judgments of those who do not see our worth. We echo criticisms that were never ours to carry. Stop this at once. You do not have to borrow doubt, nor clutch fear that was never yours to hold. Your words must first honor your own spirit. Do not apologize for the size of your dreams. Do not soften your sentences to avoid discomfort. Every syllable that passes your lips should be a declaration that you belong, that you matter, that your life is worthy of its own poetry. Remember, this is not about empty positivity or pretending the world is easy. It is about truth. The truth is, your words create your world. They are the first brushstrokes on the canvas of your life. If you speak defeat, you will find defeat waiting in every corner. If you speak courage, you will find courage quietly standing beside you, even when the night is dark and the path is uncertain. So speak boldly, speak clearly, and speak with love. Speak as though your life depends on it, because it does. Each word you choose is a vote for the life you want to live. Do not give that vote away. Claim it, speak it, and watch as the world bends in response to your voice. We carry the past like a heavy cloak draped over our shoulders, pressing down on our hearts. Every mistake we made, every word spoken against us, every door that closed seems to linger as if it belongs to us. But it does not. The past is a shadow, and shadows only hold power if we invite them in. Stop carrying yesterday's regrets as if they are the measure of who you are. Stop letting what has been define what can be. You are not your failures. You are not the missteps that have cut you, nor the moments you wish you could erase. You are the sum of your courage, the resilience that rises each time you breathe again, and the promise of every tomorrow you have yet to meet. Time has a gentle, persistent way of teaching us that holding on to pain does not honor it. It only diminishes the brightness of the present. Let the old hurts fall away, not because they were meaningless, but because they have done their work. Every scar, every regret, every tear has taught you something necessary. But the purpose is not to anchor you to suffering. It is to remind you of the strength you carry and the wisdom you have earned. You were not defeated then, and you are not defeated now. Let the past sit quietly behind you, like a teacher whose lesson has ended, and step forward into the day that awaits with arms open wide. We often cling to the past because we mistake it for security, believing that remembering pain will somehow protect us from future disappointment. Yet in doing so, we trap ourselves in a cage with invisible bars, seeing the world through a lens of fear and caution rather than possibility. It is time to break those bars. It is time to forgive, not just those who hurt you, but yourself, for every harsh word spoken in ignorance or fear. Forgiveness is not weakness, it is liberation. It is the key that unlocks your hands so you can lift yourself higher, so you can create, love, and embrace the life that has been waiting for you. Look at the sunrise. It does not ask for yesterday's darkness to fade. It simply rises, brilliant and unapologetic. Be like the sunrise. Allow each morning to be a new beginning, not a replay of what has already been written. The chains of the past have no place in the hands of someone who chooses to live fully in the present. When you release them, you discover a freedom you may have only dreamed of, a lightness of heart, a clarity of mind, and a power that was always yours, quietly waiting to be claimed. This is not a call to forget. It is a call to remember with purpose, to learn without being trapped, to honor experiences without being defined by them. You are free to move forward. You are free to dream larger, love deeper, and walk boldly into the life you were meant to live. Do not drag the weight of yesterday into today. Release it, let it go, and feel the wings of your own spirit stretch wide, carrying you into the brilliance of all that is possible. Too often we walk through life as though every eye must approve of us. Every voice must cheer for us, and every hand must nod in agreement. We bend ourselves into shapes that are not ours, soften our edges, and hide our brilliance, all to make others comfortable. But hear me clearly, the need to please everyone is a silent thief. It steals your peace, it drains your strength, and it dims the light that was meant to guide your path. No one can hold the weight of your approval forever, and no soul outside your own can measure the true depth of your worth. Stop asking for permission to exist as you are. Stop waiting for the applause that may never come. There is a freedom that lives on the other side of this habit, a lightness of being that only comes when you step fully into yourself. The people who matter will not be frightened by your authenticity. The people who matter will not require you to shrink, to apologize for the size of your dreams, or to silence your voice. And those who do demand it, those who cannot bear your strength, are not your responsibility. You are not here to make them comfortable at the expense of your soul. Each time you give yourself over to the judgment of another, you are surrendering pieces of the life that is yours alone to claim. Notice how quietly we begin to measure ourselves against the expectations of others. We tailor our smiles, adjust our words, and even hide our passions, as if the world outside our skin can dictate the truth inside our hearts. But the truth is this: your life was never meant to be a reflection of someone else's desires. It is a canvas painted with your hopes, a song written in your voice, a dance choreographed in your own rhythm. Stop dimming yourself. Stop bending. Stop carrying the weight of others' insecurities as if they belong to you. It is not arrogance to live boldly, it is courage. It is not selfish to honor your needs, it is wisdom. Each no you utter, each boundary you draw, each decision made in alignment with your own soul is a declaration. I am here, I am enough, and I will not apologize for being alive. The more you honor yourself, the more the world learns to honor you. The more you stop seeking approval, the freer you become. You will find that doors open not because you beg to enter, but because your presence commands the room. Let the need to please fall away like autumn leaves from a mighty tree. Feel the wind of liberation in the spaces it leaves behind. Stand tall in your truth and watch as your courage inspires others, not because you sought their validation, but because your life, unshaken and unashamed, radiates authenticity. You do not need to be everything to everyone. You need only be everything to yourself. Step into that freedom and let your spirit move, unbound, unafraid, and gloriously alive. There is a voice inside you, isn't there? A quiet, persistent murmur that tells you to wait, that warns you that you are not enough, that whispers that your dreams are too big or your efforts too small. It comes dressed in concern, in caution, in the guise of reason, but do not be fooled. That voice is not the truth. It is fear wearing a mask. For too long, we have allowed it to sit in the driver's seat, steering our choices, dictating our courage, and coloring every step with doubt. It is time to stand up to it, to tell it that it no longer has power here, and to reclaim the voice that belongs to you. Notice how easily it sneaks into your mind, shaping your perception of yourself before the world has even spoken. Every hesitation, every second guess, every thought that begins with, I can't, or maybe I shouldn't, is the echo of that inner critic. But hear me clearly, you are capable. You are resilient. You are far stronger than the doubts that have been living rent-free in your mind. And though the voice may be loud, it is not truth. Truth is found in your actions, in your persistence, in the courage that rises every time you move forward despite fear. The inner critic thrives on attention. It grows when you listen, when you magnify its warnings, when you allow it to define your worth. Silence it not by anger, but by focus, by discipline, and by a fierce devotion to your own purpose. Replace its words with affirmations of your power, with reminders of your past victories, with the steady insistence that you are worthy of your own dreams. Speak to yourself as you would to someone you deeply love, with patience, encouragement, and unwavering faith. Let this become your habit, your shield, your rebellion against doubt. There will be moments when it tries to return, when its voice rises like a storm, but do not be afraid. Each time it appears, meet it with compassion for the fear it represents, but do not give it space to rule. Remember that you are not your doubts. You are the courage that faces them. You are not the hesitations. You are the action that moves forward despite them. You are not the fear. You are the love that believes in your own worth. Each step you take in defiance of the critic is a declaration of freedom, a proof that your life belongs to you and no one else. Silencing your inner critic is not an instant act. It is a lifelong commitment to your own voice, to your own dreams, to your own light. It is the conscious choice to trust yourself, to honor your instincts, to celebrate your small victories as loudly as your great ones. It is the courage to say every morning and every night, I am enough, I am capable, I am worthy. And when you speak these words, when you truly believe them, the critic loses its grip, fades into the background, and leaves you standing in the brilliance of your own potential. No longer tethered by doubt, no longer imprisoned by fear, you are free to soar, to create, and to live a life that is unapologetically, beautifully yours. There are habits we cling to, habits that feel familiar, even comforting, though they quietly drain the color from our lives. They whisper lies of safety, of routine, of this is just who you are, but in truth, they are chains. Each time you indulge in them, you surrender a piece of your vitality, your peace, your joy. These habits may have begun as shields, ways to cope with pain, or small comforts in lonely moments, but they have grown into silent saboteurs, teaching you complacency when you were meant to rise. Stop tolerating them. Stop excusing them. They do not belong to the life you were born to live. Notice how easily they disguise themselves. Perhaps it is the habit of negative thinking, of endless criticism, of holding grudges that weigh you down. Perhaps it is clinging to people who diminish you, environments that drain you, or patterns of behavior that quietly steal your courage. These are the habits that make you smaller, quieter, less willing to claim your own space in the world. They are heavy, and yet we carry them as though they are part of us, when in reality they are only shadows, taking what is rightfully yours. It is time to step into the light and leave them behind. Breaking a toxic habit is not about self-punishment, it is about self-liberation. It is the conscious choice to honor yourself, to reclaim the energy you have given away, to set boundaries where none existed before. It requires courage because the familiar feels safe even when it is destructive. But your spirit knows the truth. Growth is uncomfortable, change is demanding, and freedom requires leaving behind what no longer serves you. You must be willing to feel the discomfort, to face the emptiness, to confront the fear, knowing that what awaits is far greater than what you leave behind. Consider the life you might lead if you refuse to feed the habits that hurt you. Imagine waking each morning lighter, your mind uncluttered, your heart open, your spirit unburdened. Every step taken away from toxic patterns is a step toward authenticity, a declaration that you deserve more than mere survival. You deserve flourishing. And as you release these habits, you discover the power that was always yours: clarity, strength, courage, and the quiet confidence of someone who has chosen themselves above all else. This is not a one-time act. It is a daily commitment, a gentle but firm insistence that you will no longer settle for less than what nourishes your soul. You will falter, you may stumble, and sometimes the shadows will call you back. But remember that every moment of awareness, every act of resistance is a victory. Abandon the toxic habits that drain your spirit. Let them fall away like autumn leaves and step boldly into the life that awaits. A life of joy, of purpose, and of unshakable self-respect. In this liberation, you will find the song of your soul rising, clearer and stronger than ever before, a melody that no shadow can ever silence. We live in a world that constantly measures, that constantly ranks, that constantly whispers in our ears, you are not enough, not as fast, not as tall, not as accomplished. And too often we believe it. We look at the lives of others, at their successes, their joys, their beauty, and we forget to honor the life that is uniquely ours. But listen closely, your journey is not theirs. Your story is not a reflection of anyone else's triumphs or failures. It is a path forged in your own courage, walked in your own rhythm, and illuminated by the light that only you can shine. Stop comparing, for it steals your peace and diminishes the glory of your own story. Notice how comparison sneaks into your mind. Perhaps it is envy disguised as curiosity, or doubt disguised as realism. You see someone else rising and feel small, even though their rise has no bearing on your worth. You see someone else celebrated and feel overlooked, as though recognition is a finite gift and yours is yet to come. But life is not a ledger of who is first or last, nor a measure of who is worthy. Life is the dance of every soul, moving to its own beat, learning its own lessons, and creating its own meaning. Your steps are yours, and they are exactly what they need to be. Comparing yourself is a silent thief. It steals the joy of what you have already accomplished. It blinds you to your own victories, however small, and convinces you that success is external, something to be borrowed rather than cultivated from within. Every person has a mountain to climb, a struggle hidden from the public eye, and a story that cannot be fully seen from the outside. To compare is to ignore the terrain of your own journey, to overlook the courage it takes just to keep moving forward, to fail and to rise again. The path to freedom lies in appreciation of your own growth, your own strengths, and your own story. Celebrate your progress, honor your struggles, and treasure the moments that make your life uniquely yours. When you stop measuring yourself against another, you reclaim your time, your joy, and your energy. You begin to understand that comparison is not motivation. It is a distraction, a whisper of fear that tries to convince you your path is less worthy, less important, less meaningful. But it is yours, and it is magnificent. Let go of the habit of measuring yourself against the shadows of others. Walk your own path with pride, with courage, and with confidence. Each step you take, each choice you make, each dream you pursue is enough. You are enough. Your story, with all its twists and turns, its peaks and valleys, its laughter and tears, is wholly and wonderfully yours. Comparison will never reveal your greatness, but honoring your journey will. Step into the brilliance of your life and let it shine unapologetically, knowing that no other path, no other person, and no other success can diminish the beauty and power of the one you are creating. We carry within us a weight that is not ours to bear, a weight made of old grudges, simmering resentment, and anger that refuses to fade. It sits quietly, like a stone in our hearts, pressing down on our spirit, clouding our vision, and stealing the light that could otherwise shine freely. And yet we clutch it as though letting go would be a betrayal, as though holding on proves that we matter. But the truth is, carrying negativity only chains you to the past, keeps you from the fullness of joy, and robs you of the peace that is your birthright. To release it is not weakness, it is liberation. Notice how resentment often disguises itself as righteousness. You tell yourself you are justified, that the anger belongs to someone else, that holding on proves that you care. But each moment spent in bitterness is a moment lost from your own life. Every grudge you carry is a shadow that dims your brilliance. It whispers that you are powerless, when in truth, the only power it holds is the power you give it. Stop lending it strength. Turn your attention instead to the life you are creating, to the love you are nurturing, to the dreams you are building. Your energy belongs to you, not to the mistakes of others. Anger, when it lingers beyond its season, becomes a cage. It isolates, it divides, it poisons the soul. Yet, we often mistake the intensity of our feelings for proof of our importance, as though simmering fury validates our existence. But life is too precious to be spent in shadow. Release it, not because those who wronged you deserve forgiveness, but because you deserve peace. To let go of resentment is to reclaim your freedom, to untangle your heart from the past, and to step lightly into the present with courage and grace. There is a beauty in choosing compassion over anger, understanding over blame, and grace over resentment. This does not mean forgetting, nor does it mean condoning what has been done. It means that you are choosing yourself above the weight of bitterness. Each act of release is an act of love, a reclaiming of the life that is rightfully yours. It is the quiet, revolutionary decision to step out of the shadows and into the sunlight of your own heart. Imagine the life that awaits when you are no longer tethered to negativity. Imagine waking each morning unburdened, feeling the lightness of a heart that carries only what nurtures it. Imagine speaking words without bitterness, moving through your day without the drag of old anger, and seeing the world not through the lens of what has been done to you, but through the lens of what you are creating. Let go of the grudges, the resentment, the unnecessary anger, and feel your spirit rise. You will discover that freedom, joy, and love are not distant dreams. They are the gifts that have been waiting for you all along, just beyond the shadows of what you no longer need to carry. For too long, many of us have been waiting for a sign, waiting for approval, waiting for someone else to nod, to bless, to authorize our dreams. We have placed the keys to our own lives in the hands of others, believing that their consent determines our worth. But the truth is this: no one can grant you permission to live your life fully. No one can tell you it is your turn to shine, to speak, to create, to step into your own power. The permission you have been waiting for has always existed within you. It lives in the quiet courage of your heart, in the relentless fire of your spirit, in the whisper that says, "I am enough and I am ready." Notice how fear disguises itself as prudence, how hesitation masquerades as patience. You tell yourself, "I must wait until the time is right," or "perhaps I should seek their blessing first." And while the world may move slowly, The truth is that life does not wait for anyone. Opportunities pass, seasons change, dreams grow impatient. Each day spent waiting is a day of your life surrendered to uncertainty, a day of potential left untapped. Your courage cannot be borrowed, it cannot be lent. It must be claimed, nurtured, and unleashed by your own hand. Waiting for permission is a subtle way of dimming your own light. It tells you that you are not ready, that you are not capable, that someone else's opinion matters more than your own calling. But hear me clearly. You are ready. You are capable. Your ideas, your creativity, your voice, and your dreams have been waiting quietly, patiently, for the moment you recognize that you are the one who decides. No one outside you has the power to authorize your life. Only you can open the door, step through it, and claim what is yours. When you stop waiting, a remarkable thing happens. The world bends to meet your courage. Your confidence, your boldness, and your willingness to act create momentum that cannot be ignored. You find that the energy you have been seeking in others was always within you. Each choice made, each action taken without asking for permission is a declaration that you belong in your own life fully and unapologetically. And as you step into that space, you discover that courage is not the absence of fear. It is moving forward despite it, trusting that your steps, however uncertain, will lead you where you are meant to be. So cease waiting. Do not linger in the shadows hoping for validation. Do not allow hesitation to steal the beauty of your present. Act now. Speak boldly. Create fiercely. Love openly. Step into your life as though it were already yours, because it is. No one can grant you permission. No one can give you approval. And no one can define your worth. That power, that authority, that right has always been yours. Claim it. Walk forward. And watch as the world, in quiet awe, responds to the courage that was always inside you.